Tonight of the sky, we are heroes tonight, yeah. Heroes tonight of the sky, we are heroes tonight, yeah. Well, we are live. Problem Gamblers Unite to fight. I apologize for being late. I got caught up with family, and boy, it is some strange weather like outside here in California. Ashes flying around, and so I do apologize for those of you that are here. I hope that you're here tonight. Live solutions and answers with the world's #1 problem gambling annihilator. I see a couple of people joining in. Please, I need some questions. I need some questions tonight. I see Patricia, welcome to the broadcast. I see Paul. And let me see who else is on here. I want to take on Rich. All right, welcome to the broadcast. Woohoo. Let me see woohoo if you're still there. Anyways, we are live. I'm going to be taking your questions on, my friend. Are you struggling? Are you struggling with problem gambling? Are you having a difficult time with yourself? What is happening? Let's talk about this tonight on this broadcast. I didn't come here with an agenda tonight. I will say that we're going to be back here on Sunday. We are going to be back here on Sunday. I might do an evening or I might do a 4 o'clock, but we'll make sure that we're live on Sunday. So I want to welcome those of you that are here. If you are not a part of my family, join the family. I'm going to help you. If you want to help yourself, do you want to help yourself? Really? Do you really? I'm going to issue a challenge at the end of this broadcast. If you are ready to say yes to no more gambling, I am going to issue a small challenge. I'm going to share a life hack with you. Now, I'll tell you that life hack is, it's going to challenge you. It's going to show you if you're really ready. If you're here, I believe you are ready. If you're here watching this program, I believe that you're looking for that step. You're looking for that way forward. All right. Rich says, you got me listening to... Hey, Nick, welcome to the broadcast. You got me listening to John G, too. All right, let me see. Okay, I got a few here. Shout out to Chicago. Right on, brother. Man, you just made my evening there. All right, reaching young people, reaching old people, and anybody in between. Thank you, Nick. I truly appreciate you, brother. I really do. You know, it's people like you guys that really keep me going. Honestly, the comments, the calls, some of the calls that I get are not too positive, but it's just the way things is, right? You keep going forward. Rich Sapani, Mike Coley. Let me see. Patricia has something. I hear you on that. And then when they show their true colors, they can't hide it forever. All part of their life. Not sure. People's colors do come out. That's for sure. Listen, my friends, if you have a question, you got something that you're struggling with, you got to find a step. Shoot me a question. Let's talk about it. If you don't feel comfortable enough to talk to me right here live, send me a question by email. I'll do my best. I'll do my best for you. It's hard sometimes, to answer questions because I don't know the full background of what's really going on. So I do my best. I never would want to hurt anybody. All I want to do is lift people up. I want to lift people up because I lift myself up every day. I fight every day, and I have a new vision for myself, and those are the keys, my friend, is developing a new vision and defeating triggers. If you can defeat triggers in your mind, when you begin to defeat triggers or temptation in your mind, you're on your way to freedom. It's freedom town for you, my friend. But you have to get to that place where you're defeating the triggers and the temptations. There's a process to that. Okay, let me see. Hi, how do you overcome the feelings of loneliness after cutting ties with the toxic people that you have surrounded yourself with for years? That's a great question, Patricia. Well, everybody's different, right? We're all different. We all have different situations going on. You have to really just kind of work that into your plan. So part of let me say this. Sometimes it's not good. Sometimes it's just not good to even have friends for a little bit when you're working these things out in your life. You do become lonely, but what do you do with your loneliness, right? The only reason why we become lonely is because we're bored, because we're not doing something to keep us occupied. There's many things that we can do to keep us occupied. I can go through a whole list of items, but you know what you could do. And sometimes it's just a matter of sitting down with yourself, just a matter of sitting down with yourself with a piece of paper and a pen. It's probably two of the most magical things that you have that's free. The pen, the power of the pen, and the power of paper. And then, of course, you have mind, mouth, power, right? Mind, mouth, power. That's something that you develop as you go along. You have to really just work hard in the beginning to really create the environments that you need. I make, I have imaginary friends. They're not imaginary friends, but they're like people that I go to. If I'm bored, if I'm not, well, I try not to be bored. I'm always busy. But if I find myself that I'm drifting into, immediately get a book, right? A tool, go to a video, go to your journal. If you can call a friend or you can find a service to do something, get out of yourself, right? Service to others. There's a lot that we can do if we want to, and it's just a matter of choice. If we choose to gamble, we choose to gamble. That's going to bring problems. That's going to bring a lot of problems into your life, right? We know that. If you make a decision not to gamble, you're going to get the blessings into your life from that, right? If you don't gamble, what does your life look like if you don't gamble? What does your life look like if you hadn't gambled for 6 months? What would your life look like if you didn't gamble for 6 months, right? How would that affect your finances? How would that affect your relationships? How would it affect your psyche if you weren't gambling for 6 months? Imagine you could look 6 months and you hadn't gambled for 6 months. Can you see that? Can you feel it? Is that a good thing? Is that a good thing for you? Hopefully that helps a little bit, Patricia. Because we're gonna go through these things. We just have to face them. You know, we can't be afraid. You can't live your life in fear. And even if we got to be careful with our talk. I say this a lot, right? Mind, mouth, power. If you say certain things, you can believe it. If you say negative things, you can believe those too, right? If we go around saying, well, I'm lonely, or I'm bored, or I don't have any friends, what if you say the opposite? Well, there's a lot to do. Let me find something to do. I don't have any friends, but guess what? I can make new friends. How can I make new friends? Well, maybe through a book, maybe through a video, maybe through writing a letter, an email. There's all kinds of different things that we can do. We have to get into the process of being more creative. The problem gambler is a very creative human being, because he has to come up with ways to cover up debt. He has to figure out ways to cover the lies. The problem gambler has to figure out ways to take from Paul to pay Bill, right? So all you're doing as a problem gambler is that you're just using that in a positive sense. You're turning it around. You're using it. You're using your mind. You're using your mouth. And my friends, this is what it takes to really get free. Some days it's harder than other days. You know, some days it's just going to be a lot harder to gain the victory. So you have to work harder. You know, there's some days I invest a lot in myself. I invest a lot in my attitude, because I hang out with myself the most, right? So I figure, you know what, if I'm going to spend a lot of time with myself, I definitely want to hang out with somebody that is cool, somebody that's patient, somebody that's nice. And sometimes I get, it happens. I make mistake, but I don't stay there, right? And this is, if you're going to spend a lot of time by yourself, work on your character, develop the person that you want to become. I mean, who do you want to hang out with? Do you want to continue to hang out with a problem gambler? Honestly, think about it. Do you want to hang out with a problem gambler? Because then that's who you are. If you believe that, then that's who you become. Or would you rather hang out with a person that's not gambler? Person that, that taking care of the bills, taking care of family, taking care of business, right? You have to picture that. Who are you going to become? This person or the other person? But back to, when you defeat your triggers and temptations, when you defeat them, you're going to win over gambling, because that's where the battle lies. Where you give in is when you get a trigger, or when you get tempted. That's when you give in, right? It's not going into the casino. That going into the casino is not where the battle. Before you went into the casino, you went into the casino in your mind, if that makes sense. Does that make sense to you? Before you went into the casino physically, you already went there in your mind. So if you don't want to go into the casino physically, you have to prevent yourself going into the casino in your mind. All right. I'm getting ready to issue the challenge here in a few minutes. I see we've got let me see. So we got that. Thank you. You're right. I came up with all sorts of things to cover my tracks. Yeah. That's what happens. I mean, we're very crafty people. You are very smart. It takes people like myself to remind you, right? I say this a lot. Your good life is going to come out of a good series of good, constant, positive reminders. I mean that. I live by that. That's how your good life comes out, right? Your bad life comes out of a series of bad, constant, positive reminders. Isn't that true? Right? The bad comes out of the bad. The good comes out of the good. So if you remind yourself good, positive, good, constant positive reminders, what's going to come out of that? Good, positive lifestyle. Yeah. So, let me see. What was that again here? I was tempted again today, but chose to stay away and watch this live program. Right on. Every time that you come to the program, believe, draw strength, from this. Simple little life hacks of just saying things over and over. I'm telling you, it's amazing. It is amazing. But sometimes I have to work double time. Sometimes I have to work triple time just to maintain what I have. To maintain what I have, my attitude, because like I said earlier, I hang out with myself a lot, especially now during this COVID-19. A lot of people are shut in their homes. They're closed behind the doors. They're living in fear. Some people don't even want to pick up the phone. That's the truth. Anyways, I'm glad that you're here, by the way. We got a few people joining in. We've got some time. Thank you for being here, Rich. You know what? You made a decision, brother. You made a decision. You know what? It takes courage to do what you're doing. It does. To say no to the temptation, to say no to it takes courage, man. So remind yourself of that. Man, I got courage. Sometimes we feel like a weakling, right? Like a loser. I use the word loser a lot. And I talk to my granddaughter. She's going to be 14. And I use that word loser. I said, if you don't work now, if you don't learn how to discipline your life now while you're 13, if you don't learn principles, and I talk her head off. Yes, I do. But what am I talking her head off about? I'm talking about principles and values that these little girls need to have. Little girl want to have a nice young man in her life, start early. Don't wait till you're 17 or 18 and so-called Prince Charming shows up. Good-looking guy, but inside he might be full of dead man's bones. And if you don't recognize these things, how are you going to have a good relationship? It starts out when you're small, when you're young. So that's same thing with problem gamblers, right? Right now, you may still have everything intact. You might be paying the rent. You might have a little bit of money in the bank. You still got relationships going on, but you're dabbling in the casino. You know what I mean? You're still going back and forth, and you're having problems. But yet you're still maintaining. But my friend, you may not see that banana peel on the floor the next time you walk into a casino. You may not see that banana peel. Figuratively speaking, you're headed for a fall, right? You're headed for a fall. If you have the feelings, if you're already there, you're taking extra money out, you're having to hide, you're turning off your cell phone, you're missing work, or maybe you got fired and you're living off the stimulus money that's coming in. I don't know for sure. But if those are there, then you really need to take a look at your life, because my friend, what is the ultimate end? If you keep going to the casino and 7 months later you hit a bankruptcy and you lose everything, no more bank account, no more job, your spouse decides to leave you because she or he is tired of not having the bills paid and just you not being there, not having any accountability or integrity. What does that look like? I mean, that's not a good picture. Can you see that picture? Can you look down the road? Because if you're struggling right now, you should be able to see that. At least you're getting a glimpse of it. That's why you feel the pain, right? Every time that you turn around, something goes bad. That's pain. That's an indicator. Typically, when pain hits the body, it's a signal. Something's wrong. Check it out. Talk to the doctor or take a good look at yourself, right? That's what the body says to us. And we don't pay attention to it. Sadly, we miss the mark. Man, thanks, Rich. So we're going to be back here. We're going to be back here Sunday. And we're also promoting GABA. Let me put that up there. GABA. Where is GABA? The Gambling Addiction Breakthrough Academy. Right there. What is that program? It's a starter kit. It's a starter kit for you to jumpstart your motor, your battery. And I recommend that you use it, but you use the whole thing. Use the questionnaire, because that's what's going to help you is when you stop to think. Just watching videos is not enough. You have to stop and think about what it is that you're watching. You have to stop and think about what is this guy saying? How can I learn from this guy? You need to ask yourself those questions, right? If you just come to the videos and you don't think, it's not going to really impact your life. You have to really put some skin. You have to make an effort. You have to make an effort, my friends. It's like you got to go in the gym. If Mike Tyson, right? He's got to put in an effort, man. He's got to hit the bag. He's got to sweat. He's got to lose all the belly fat and stuff. It's the same thing with gambling. You have to fight. You have to be willing to fight, my friend. You have to be willing to fight. That's what I do every day. It's the truth. Some days it's a little bit easier than other days, but I fight. And we are one. Hello, Zealand. Welcome. I see we got a few people joining us. Do you have a question? We are one. We are one from Zealand. Do you have a question for me? You have a question about problem gambling? You got by the way, I'm going to give you, we've got a couple minutes. Listen, do you want to test yourself? This is going to be a challenge for many here. If you really want to break free from gambling, if you want to test yourself to see how dedicated you are to the word decision, call a friend or two and let them know that you made a decision to stop gambling. Call them up and say, hey, I'm done gambling. I'm not telling you to call people randomly, but people that you feel that you might need to call, or put it on social media. Why would I want to do that? Well, that's a life hack. That's something that I use on myself. I put it out there, right? I put it out there. That's what I did through video. That's what I did through book. I told people. I remember I was struggling, man. I was telling people a couple of years ago, I'm a non-gambler, man. I'm gonna break this thing. I still had the issue, but I kept on. I put it out there, and then the more that I put it out there, it actually faced me. Wow, now I am accountable. I have to do this thing now. But it's not because of I'm not trying to do it for pleasing people. First of all, you have to want to quit gambling. You have to want to quit gambling. You have to want to stop in order for the problem to end. If you say that you want to, but you don't take action, then you probably don't really want to. And you have to be honest. So if you have the desire, right? Let me see. Let's say you have the desire, but you don't have a plan. You don't know how you're going to make it happen. You have desire. You have desire. That's important, because with desire, you can find the first step. And with desire, you can create a plan, right? With desire, a little bit of desire. And then it turns into determination, because the more that you practice, right? You had desire, you found the first step, you took the first step. Now you created a plan. Now you're working that plan. Now you've created momentum. And then what happens? It begins to change your life. Begins to change your life. You break out of that prison. you become free, totally free. And you start talking about your freedom, you start expressing it, you start thinking differently, right? Before you wouldn't really do the things like helping other people, maybe service. Now you're finding ways to help other people because you become grateful, you become very thankful. When you feel like you've been in a prison, imagine you've been in a prison for a long time and all of a sudden the doors are open. Man, you have that. That's an awakening right there. You know, that does something and just imagine if you were in prison, right? And all of a sudden the doors were open. Somebody came and said, you were in a prison for 15 years. You thought maybe you were going to never get out. And all of a sudden the doors open and you're standing there. You probably don't know what to do with yourself, right? If somebody says, hey, you're free, go. Can you imagine that kind of a shock? Like, wow, you know? And then you build, right? You go on, you build your life. All right. Thank you for, I came to listen because gambling can be a problem for me. Yes. Zealand, New Zealand. Do you have a question that you might want to ask me? You have a question for me? We are one. Any more questions? My cool one. Let me see. Rich. Thank you. You're welcome. Anybody got a question for me? Anybody got a question? I apologize. I started the program. I was supposed to be here. I was supposed to be here at 7 and we started at 8. Did we start at 8? Yes, we did. We started at 8 because I've been on here 26 minutes. So Rich Sapani says, yeah, 8, you had it right. Need mind, mouth, power. Mind, mouth, power. Yes, that's what we need. We need to exercise that. We all have it. You have it. You just need to exercise it. Let me see. What is this? Come on, Vato. Gonna drop some large Ferrier on Raptor halftime itchy, bro. Fighting the itch. Need your face. Come on. It's a fight, my friends. It's a real fight. You know, some people are losing their lives. Some people are losing. Let me see. Did you go to Gamblers Anonymous? Patricia, I'll get your question here. Did you go to Gamblers Anonymous? I've been to a couple of anonymous meetings. I had problems with alcohol in the past. I would say a little bit. So I've been to Alcoholics Anonymous. You know, any Alcoholics Gamblers Anonymous is a program. If you work the program, I believe it might help you. I just don't agree with the atmosphere of going and meeting with people. And I just think it's really negative. But they do have a 12-step program, a plan that if you work that plan, it'll help you. But unfortunately, people just go, they hang out and talk a lot of gibberish and stuff. And maybe 1 or 2 out of 25 are actually doing the real thing, you know? If it helps, it helps, though. That's the way. If something helps you, you should go for it. You have to follow your heart. You have to follow your gut. You can't go by what everybody else says. I don't recommend trying to do this unless you decide to do it. We're not going to quit. We all have addictions, by the way, and we all have different kinds of addictions. Some addictions we want to keep. They're good. Some are bad. We get rid of them. As you begin to break free from the major problem that you have, a lot of the other problems will go along with it. It's pretty amazing. It actually is. It's like kind of magic. It's like water. It's like water that just flows over everything. You know, you get rid of the nucleus, you get rid of that iceberg underneath the water, and the whole thing, you know, it begins to help many other areas of life. And it's amazing. It really is. It's amazing. It's wonderful. It's fantastic. It's sad that we get caught up with these things, these sinful things, right, in this world. It's really sad that we get caught up, man. And a lot of it has to do with when we're children, the way that we're brought up. A lot of children that are brought up, you know, and I've heard of families, I've met families that were brought up as gamblers, you know, smokers and drinkers and poker card players. Well, if you bring that up around children at a very early age, what do you expect from your children when they grow older? And it happens. It happens, my friends. It happens. That's just the way it is. All right. So, I don't have a vehicle and I am not around public transportation, so GA meetings are not something I can do. They have them online too. They have GA meetings online so that you can do, I think they can do them. But to me, honestly, I won't waste my time there. I'd rather just spend my time studying and listening to successful people and learning from them, because that's what works for me, right? Getting in front of hungry people, people that are successful, people that are doing it, just getting in front of them and listening to them, you know, over and over. Sometimes it's a different people. Sometimes it's the same people, different message. That's what I do. That's what helps me. That's what keeps me going. And I love what I do. You know, I enjoy self-mastery. I really enjoy self-mastery. I never thought that I would ever say that, but I truly enjoy self-mastery. It's been a blessing in my life. It's been my new addiction, right? Self-mastery, self-development, challenging myself to see how far I can go with my change, my transformation. That is what has possessed me and kind of taken over a lot of the addictions that I've had. You see what I'm saying? I've replaced the old with something new, something bigger and better, more fun. That's what I've done. In the beginning, it was a bit challenging, just like you, right? For anybody. It's always going to be challenging. But then once you get going, it's like, man, this was no big deal. All right, my friends, we're coming down to the end of the wire here. You can always set a goal to get yourself a vehicle. There's something that's worthwhile, right? If you don't have one and you want to have one, set a goal. You know, when do you want to have a vehicle by? And then just by what day? And then just work towards it. All right, my friends. We are almost over. I'm going to be ending here soon. We've had a small audience on a Friday night. I'm excited. I'm excited. Tomorrow we get to wake up. Tomorrow I get to wake up and I don't have a hangover. Well, maybe I do have a hangover, a good one. But I don't have the hangover of, oh my, what did I do last night? How much money did I blow? How many times did I go to the ATM? I don't have that kind of a hangover. So it feels good waking up on Saturday or Sunday morning. It feels more than good. It feels if you get that one, that's how good it feels. I'll do it again. Every Saturday morning, actually every day of the week, I get up, right? That I didn't gamble the night before. And of course, for me, it's been some time now, but I wake up every morning and it's like, all right. All right. Tomorrow we go fishing. All right, my friends. I'm going to give you guys one more, a chance to give me one more question. Challenge me. I know I can't do everything perfectly here because I don't know everything about you, right? I'm trying to give you some solutions and answers live. So once again, if you're new here and you haven't joined the family, let me put it up. Join the family. Join the family, right? Live better, live stronger. Join the family. Stay in touch with me. You can send me an email. We can discuss your all right. All right, we're coming down to the end of the wire here. I am your hero. Empty. The only thing I see is my silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. All right, my friends. I wish you guys all a super fantastic, terrific, over the top weekend. You have to make a decision, and you have to live by your decision. If you really want to achieve anything great in life, whether it's problem gambling or something else, you have to live by your decision. You have to have a plan, and you have to be dedicated to that plan every single day. All right, my friends, until my next one, the world's number one problem gambling annihilator, your breakthrough coach, Santos Rolon Jr., soldiers of selfmastery.com. I'll catch you at the top on the inside on my very next one, my friends. Salute.